returner in the game, Caden Weegan, back deep at the 5-yard line. He's going to have a bunch of room to get going. Here comes Weegan, already 1 touchdown on the year on a kickoff return, but this time not so much. Great coverage, and he's whacked down at the 30-yard line.
And I think because of that knee, maybe that platform doesn't allow him to set up, and that obviously affects your accuracy too at the end of the day. But the real problem is the lack of a running game that can help him.
They try and get the ball to Weegan out in space. This may be something we see a lot of. He is lightning in a bottle. Badgers know it too. They stop him after 2 yards. Kamari Moulton is the starting back behind Gronowski. Moulton's got it. His first touch gets to the edge, and it'll bring up 3rd down and short. Gronowski, pocket holds, has a man, and the pass is high. He was looking for DJ Vanami, and it's going to be a 3 and out for the Hawkeyes. For Midwest, 2 contiguous states, Wisconsin and Iowa. And this game may be decided by 2 guys from Australia. We're talking about the punters. Atticus Bertram's the punter for Wisconsin. The punter for Iowa is Reese Dakin, both Aussies.
I say we put them in a room together and let them fight it out, right?
2nd consecutive start for Hunter Simmons. Looks the part, 6'3", 230 pounds. Wants to throw on 1st down. Ton of time. Has a man. Caught. No, incomplete. Incomplete. Bobbling it was Trench Kekahuna.
Review, the ruling on the field is upheld. The pass is incomplete. 2nd down.
They get it to Kekahuna. He's got the speed. Gets around the edge and is crushed. Ball comes out. Ball comes out, and Iowa says they have it. And they do. Iowa football.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. 1st down.
Now this is still being looked at.
The runner was down with possession of the ball in his right knee. It's 3rd down.
Wow. So Wisconsin catches a massive break.
Huge break. Wow.
No, they choose to run it.
Wow. Wow.
Right up the middle.
Oh, he got
and
it.
the 2nd effort of Dylan Jones gets the 1st down. He channeled his inner Ron Dane.
How about that?
Leading the run offense number 57. Pulling him in the field of play.
Can't buy a break.
5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. It's 3rd down.
Simmons, design quarterback run. He looks the part. He's 230 pounds, and he's got enough to get across and get a 1st down. 1st down and 10. Simmons has to get away with it way earlier than he wanted to. Jade Montgomery is starting at the middle backer for Iowa. He's actually a Wisconsin native. He's from Green Bay, getting a chance to play against the Badgers. Jones bounces off the 1st tackler. Nominal gain of 2. It'll bring up 3rd down and long. Blitz is picked up. Catch is made right at the sticks. Staying inbounds long enough to make the play is Chris Brooks. It says 4th and 1, but I think it's even shorter than that. And the punt team will come on. End over end kick. Weegan didn't call for a fair catch. Oh, the guts of a cat burglar. Look at Weegan. 2nd offensive possession for Iowa. They get it to Weegan. This is going to be a theme. They're going to try and find any way possible to get it to their best offensive player. That is a good gain on 1st down. They're going to give him 11 yards.
Yeah, watch Ricardo Hallman, number 2, and watch Weegan just put his helmet right in the middle of his breastplate. Pow! Woo, runs right through him, man. That's talk about leverage right there. Even when you get lower than that guy, physics are supposed to work in your favor. But this guy, as my partner said, he's a little different. I don't know anybody would return a punt with a guy standing right in your face like he did a minute ago.
Weegan, 5'9", 196 pounds, but he is an athlete. Gronowski, pass is complete. Making the catch, Jacob Gill, tackled immediately at the 35-yard line. Moulton's got it.
Oh, nice.
He's got the 1st down.
Moulton, the ball carrier.
Well, Moulton's going to get a little bit of a blow right now. He's replaced by the true freshman, Nathan McNeil. McNeil's come out of nowhere.
Nice.
He's got it. Oh, look at McNeil. Some Zuzu down the right side, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 30. Pretty nice first touch. After the play was over, the flag came down. It's going to be a gain of 24 for McNeil.
Well, it's no secret that the run game is really what's going to help either one of these teams solve this game.
They're offsetting unsportsmanlike fouls on the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 5, defense number 1. The penalties canceled. This is both players' first of the game. It's first down.
Kamari Moulton back into the game next to Gronowski. They fake to him. Gronowski lobs it right side. Caught! What a catch by Hayden Large!
The ruling on the field.
Oh, no catch. They wave it off.
Second down.
Second down at 10.
Oh.
Moulton's got it. And Iowa getting big chunks of yards here against this Wisconsin defense. They put Ortworth in motion. He's blocking for Moulton, who's got the first down. That was nice misdirection. Good use of the block. This is the 8th play of the drive. Williams spun down. That's Parker Peterson with the tackle. Weegan is in the field. Weegan's number 21. They like him. He's got it. Weegan is tackled at about the 14-yard line. Third down at 4. Gronowski. Nobody open. And a flag comes down. When the ball was in the air, a flag came down in the defensive backfield.
Establish a platform to create the accuracy.
Offense number 58. The penalties decline. It's fourth down.
This will be from 32 yards out. Should be standard issue. The holder's Ty Nissen. Stevens' kick.
Yes, sir.
Is true. So Iowa draws first blood. Vinny Anthony back deep. He'll watch this kick sail over his head and through the back of the end zone. Badgers are going to have Jackson Anchor as the fullback. They pitch it out to Cade Giacomelli. And Giacomelli, a short gain of 1.5 yards.
Nice job.
Up. Caught, intercepted. Bryce Hawthorne has it for the Hawkeyes.
And I'm telling you, those are successive plays. You just talked about Phil Parker. That time it was Brian Allen, number 90, the redshirt junior. All 6'3", 264 pounds of him. Number 90 gets that big mid up there, partner, and bats that one down. That was outstanding job. Watch the edge. Quarterback is framing it up. And that inside rush, that left hand gets in there. And he's got a guy in his face trying to block him out. That's Riley Mahlman. And that left tackle can't keep him out of there. He bends and turns that corner and gets that paw up. And boy, just to have the presence of mind to go and get it. That was the guy who made the previous play. They are active in the middle.
Brian Allen, the deflection. Bryce Hawthorne, the interception. And Iowa's got it already in scoring position. The ball will be at the 24-yard line.
Ouch.
Bryce Hawthorne actually spent the last couple of seasons playing at South Dakota State with Mark Gronowski, the quarterback for Iowa now. So the Jackrabbits well represented.
I love that play right there, man. You talk about student body left. It's really a tight flowing play.
Iowa averaging 8.5 yards per running attempt so far in our ball game. Slid, caught, down to the 5-yard line. Sam Phillips, his first catch of the game. Iowa's tallest receiver, Reese Vanderzee, comes into the game. He's 15, bottom of your screen.
Oh, fade ball. Come on.
Nope, they go to the ground, and it works! Kamari Moulton, touchdown, Iowa! Stevens, the extra point. Well, this is just an embarrassment of riches for Iowa offensively. Third series for Hunter Simmons and Wisconsin. On the run. Throw and catch. He'll get the ball out to the 40-yard line. Tyrell Henry, a gain of 16. Oh my goodness! It's going to be a big man touchdown!
Holy.
Aaron Graves! Got there! Touchdown, Iowa! Oh my goodness! Right into Graves' belly!
The runner's knee was down with the ball at the half-yard line, where it'll be 1st and goal.
Xavier Williams is the back. It's going to be a quarterback keeper. And no signal yet.
That was a little aiding going on right there. The push, little bush push.
Touchdown. Touchdown. Took a while, but the arm's up in the air, and it's an Iowa touchdown. They lead 16-0. Oh, my.
Others had interest in them. They're improved. But it's this defensive line of the Hawkeyes that really have shown out tonight. He's got to be able to handle that mental aspect of it.
Darian Dupree. And Dupree skips out across the 30. Cohen Entringer tackles him, but that's a nice gain. Pickup of 9 on 1st down. They put Chris Brooks in motion. Dupree still in the game. And this time tackled from behind before he got to the line. Zach Lutmer with the tackle.
Look at all the numbers around the line of scrimmage. This is zero coverage, basically.
And they want to throw out of it. Looking for a big play. Incomplete. He was looking for the tight end, Lance Mason. Badger fans are not happy with the start of this one.
Uh-oh.
Weegan, chance to return it. And he steps out of bounds at about the 38-yard line.
Your core is going to come from this 3 or 4 state area. I know they can go nationally, but you grow them a certain way here. That's the transition pains they're dealing with.
Gronowski wants a bunch through into traffic. Wow. Oh, that's a bad idea. It's picked off. Ricardo Holman's got it. And finally something positive for Wisconsin. On the final play of the 1st quarter, something to cheer about for the locals. Football Hall of Fame and also Rose Bowl game Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Monte Ball.
Alamichi would be proud. I'm going way back.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
I wasn't around then, but the Iron Horse was a man, bro. He could run it. Going a power pistol formation.
They want to throw out of it.
Uh-oh.
Simmons. That's a backward pass. That's live. It's still live. And I think Iowa's got it.
Wow.
That was a backwards pass. That's a lateral.
Well, you nailed it, partner. It sure was. It was about maybe 5 to 7 degrees behind. It was definitely a lateral.
Kirk Ferentz is signaling it's a lateral. It should be Iowa ball.
This won't be hard to discern.
It's a fumble recovered inbounds by the defense. It's 1st down.
Ball's on the 28-yard line. They already lead 17-0. Kamari Moulton patiently gets about 2 yards, maybe 3, before he's pushed out of bounds by Mason Reiger.
This is more like it, a tight bunch to the wide side. They're going to work this side of the field.
Reese Manders, he's in the game. They keep it on the ground.
Nice.
Moulton's got it. Moulton's got the 1st down to the 15-yard line. He's only 200 pounds, but he runs hard.
Yeah.
12 yards for Moulton. He's still in the game. Moulton, left side.
Nice.
Cuts it back inside the 10. Freshman McNeil caught from behind. 3rd down and 6. Gronowski
Nice.
Caught right at the sticks. That'll be enough for the 1st down. DJ Vanami. Williams pushed off his mark and he'll lose yards. Brandon Lane came in from his defensive tackle spot to force the issue. Play action. Gronowski. He's hobbled a bit. He's going to try. And didn't have enough there. This is a guy who is an elite runner of the football. He's got 7 rushing touchdowns on the year, but probably not close to 100%. They run it.
Wow.
Interesting play call. That didn't surprise anyone, in particularly Mason Riger, who was ready for it. 25-yard attempt. Drew Stevens. He's already made a 32-yarder. Automatic.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 15. The 15-yard penalty, correction number 17. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. This is his first unsportsmanlike conduct penalty of the game.
And they're going to put it sideways, like they may try an onside kick or a little squibber dibber.
They got it sideways, nothing to lose.
Oh, that thing's got some hair on it. It spins right into the up back's hands, though.
Everything has to be reduced down to win this play. And if you can do that, you try to stack them on top of each other. Nice.
Dylan Jones refusing to go down. Pushes the pile out to the 44-yard line.
And you just asked T.J. Hall if he didn't think Dylan Jones is running the ball hard. He's trying to stack these plays on the back of one another. Number 2, watch him cut back. He's going to see him inside. He's got eyes. He comes off of it and tries to make a play. The cut back and boom. I'm going to nail you right there, man. He gets 4 additional yards after the initial contact. That's how you do it. These Wisconsin Badgers are still fighting.
Hunter Simmons has already thrown a couple of interceptions. Maybe they'll just keep it on the ground. They do. Jones again. Refusing to go down. Another 10-yard gain.
Nice eyes.
Wisconsin playing with a little bit more urgency this time with the football.
No question.
Simmons wisely throws it away. They choose to run it. Jones close to the line to gain, but stopped short by Xavier Wampa. Down 20-0. They're going for it. So 4th down and 1.
Got to hit that soft pocket on either side of the guards.
Out of the shotgun.
The reduction. Now the edge is there for him. Nice.
Oh my goodness, they're going to throw it.
Nice.
Oh my goodness. Oh, the Wisconsin Badgers can't get out of their own way. Play action. Incomplete. Dayton Howard, the intended target. Gronowski just a little bit off the mark. And he's playing banged up. McNeil. Nothing. It'll bring up 3rd down and long. Really the first adversity for Iowa.
A little faux blitz package.
Gronowski really doesn't want to run on that knee of his. Hart wasn't in it. Mason Posa, the true freshman linebacker, makes the tackle. Yep. And Iowa will have to punt the football away. All right, Trech Kekahuna, who returns a lot of punts, he's not in the game right now. So we're going to see Jaden Ballard back deep for Wisconsin. Calling for the fair catch. Ballard makes it at the 17. 6 for 41 for Jones, redshirt freshman out of Maryland. Design rollout for Simmons. Throw was low. Was it caught? Yep, it was. Right along the sideline, Vinny Anthony. Gain of 8 for number 8. 3 minutes of change remaining, 2nd quarter. That's a good run. Nifty. 1st down for Jones, tackled by T.J. Hall. Fresh set of downs for the Badgers. Trying to get on the board. They need something positive before the half. Simmons, wide open. This time the catch is made. It's Mason making up for the drop a moment ago. Mason with some strong hands.
I like this play right here, man. The fact that Ethan Hurk at number 49 is able to get pressure and force the switch route underneath. A nice little triangle created there by the receivers on the over. This is a levels concept. Open receivers running at different levels. You got some choices to make. Brave call.
Both quarterback and tight end there were playing FCS football a year ago. Simmons and Mason have come a long way. Great tackle in the backfield. Jackson Rexroth trying to claw their way back into this one. Second down to 13. Hunter Simmons batted, and it falls to the ground. Max Llewellyn got a hand on it. We've got a $1:54 remaining second quarter. They need 13. Maybe get 8 here and try and get 5 next play. Or maybe get it all deep to the end zone. Incomplete. Nice defense played by T.J. Hall on Jaden Ballard.
I saw some early contact in there, and Jones in for a call on that particular play. And again, there was some contact, but was it enough to sell it downfield? Great job of holding that safety. You know, you got to put the ball out in front of him. Let him go get it. You know, with all of that field out in front of him, you got to carry that ball and let him run to it. That's why you have the old deep over route. It's there. You got all that water. Throw that ball and let the receiver run underneath it.
Weegan calls for the fair catch and makes it at the 5. Can't imagine Iowa being aggressive here.
No, stretch play. Oh.
Wow. There's a lot of talk last couple of days about Wisconsin and the end of their game a week ago against Michigan. They were down a bunch, 24-10, but Wisconsin chose not to call any timeouts in the fourth quarter. I was thinking maybe if they could have got a decent stop on first down, they could have called timeouts and see if they could force Iowa to punt and get the ball back. But that may have flown out the window now.
It's corner cat blitz.
This is Moulton. He's got blockers. He's got the first down close to the 40-yard line. Gronowski. Pass is complete. Welcome back, Reese Vanderzee. That's the first catch of the year for the sophomore from Rock Rapids, Iowa.
I get a little 2-minute drill action going on here. They are moving the ball a little aggressive. He's got a bail technique here. That's where the outside cornerback turns his shoulders and runs away with his eyes focused in on the quarterback.
We haven't seen this since like Ricky Stanzi with Iowa. Who you knew they had a 2-minute offense. 9 more yards for Moulton. Xavier Williams now in the backfield next to Gronowski. Second down.
Just a 4-man rush, 5 to block him.
That's Williams out of the backfield. Did he get out of bounds? Yes, he did. That'll stop the clock. 39 seconds remaining in our second quarter. Clock's moving again.
Nice.
Another catch for Vanderzee, his second catch on this drive. 8th play of the drive. Dump off across the middle. That's short to the tight end, Vanami. And I was going to have to call timeout now, right?
Yep.
Time. A flag is down. I don't think Iowa was set.
No, they're going to have a formation issue. You got to have 7 on the line of scrimmage. You got an illegal procedure.
In the backfield, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
49 yards for Drew Stevens. He's made a pair of field goals today. This will be the longest. Plenty of legs.
Yeah.
Good God.
Wow.
That would have been good from about 65. And Iowa stretches their lead to 23-0. Not surprising. Time of possession being won by Iowa. Turnover battle was huge. 3 committed by Wisconsin. Just 1 on the interception of Gronowski.
Hang on the football.
Even with the 3 turnovers for Hunter Simmons, he's been the only quarterback for Wisconsin. Last week when they played at Michigan, Simmons split the time with Danny O'Neal, who had a handful of snaps, but no snaps at all for Danny O'Neal. It's been all Hunter Simmons. That's Danny O'Neal looking on. 5 touchdowns for Danny O'Neal, 5 interceptions. That was his bugaboo. Dylan Jones met in the hole and brought down immediately. Carson Shire with a tackle. So it's 3rd down and 4. This is Jones out of the backfield. Pass was high, and that really blew up the rhythm of it all.
Yep.
So it'll be a 3 and out for the Badgers. Not what they were hoping for. Weegent, room to run. Makes the first man miss. And Weegent out across the 40. All right, Gronowski leads the offense. He'll start under center. He's got Kamari Moulton behind him. Up by 23. Iowa's focus is working on that clock, limiting possessions. Tight formation. They put Weegent in motion. Moulton, like he shot out of a cannon, across the 50 out of the 40. This guy picks up speed quickly.
He really does. And, you know, I saw some of this against Rutgers, man, when they took care of them. And just watch his ability to hit this hole instinctively. He cuts back, avoids the backside pressure that's there. And then once he gets his shoulders turned north and south, he can subtly turn his body and get extra yards after it. He can bowl you over. So sometimes if you try to settle in, he'll run you over.
Third straight carry for Moulton.
Moulton on the carry.
They give it to Williams. Stutter step in the hole. He's got another first down.
Yeah,
Sebastian Cheeks a tackle.
Yeah, Eric, you can tell the preparation is there, whether it's Williams.
Keep the foot on the gas. 4 straight runs. 5 straight runs.
Nice.
Williams to the corner. He's there. Touchdown, Iowa. What an impressive drive coming out of the halftime locker room. Really can't ask for anything more. Nothing but runs and a touchdown.
Got the tight end, short motion, inside zone, X-Man. He's coming in there, man, he transforms. Nothing special about this. He protects the ball and gets in the end zone, north and south. So they've been working that inside tackle gap, ISO, any of those power plays inside, all of them are working because those backs are reading so well.
Wow, this is a rivalry game, and it is one-sided. They outrush their opponent by 109.4 yards per game.
They've got a quarter and 3 quarters left to play, man, so that number may even improve.
Vinny Anthony on the return.
Nice.
Wisconsin looking for a spark. Anthony got thumped. They had that back in the 80s as well. Dylan Jones has got the football. He's still playing hard. Tripped up by Wampa. That's a gain of 8 on first down. First year in the Big Ten for Jeff Grimes.
Nice cut.
Jones. We've been talking a lot about Carson Shire here in the third quarter. Part of that tackle. 3rd down and 1. That'll be enough for the first down. You saw Hunter Simmons barking out the cadence. He's never going to get Iowa to jump. This is the least penalized team in all of college football. No. They held their water, just couldn't stop Jones before the marker. Whole lot of Dylan Jones here in the third quarter. And he's going to end up with a whole bunch of bruises. Every time he gets it, he is whacked. Another tackle by Carson Shire.
Nice.
Jones another carry. Yeah, it's clear that Luke Fickell, Jeff Grimes in Wisconsin, they're just trying to feel good about themselves. But this is not a drive that's going to help them try and win this game.
No, it may not.
It may take 8 minutes if they score a touchdown.
But you're actually building for the future. You don't. That's not a narrative that you have to trumpet out there, Eric. It's just one of those things. Hey, look, guys. It's virtually impossible for us to spot these guys. That's the internal narrative that's going on. But we physically are going to get better in this game. Mentally going to get better.
Cade Giacomelli comes in on 3rd down. Catch is made. That's Anthony. That's who Simmons trusts, and it's a first down for Wisconsin. Now Simmons under center. It's going to be an end around. Anthony dropped it. There may have been something there, but he dropped it, and that allowed all the Hawkeyes to come on top of him. And it's another tackle for Shire. They lose 9 on that play.
Nice.
They get it to Giacomelli. And he gets back to lost yardage and then some.
He had that same outlet to the opposite side of the field, and basically all Jeff Grimes did is flip the formation and got it to Giacomelli. An outstanding job of playing the game in real time and understanding where the assets are.
They run it with Giacomelli. And he's short, but close enough to probably go for it, I'm assuming.
Absolutely. You know, sometimes it's not so much about the play, it's the players, right? You get the ball in the hands of the guys that are playing hard and going to make something happen.
Putting the cards on the table. No pressure at all. Oh, my.
Oh, man.
Didn't need to throw it at that point. He had plenty of time.
I'm not quite sure where he's going with that. I mean, I understand where he's throwing the ball, but I'm not sure that read takes him there, man.
This is the first pass of the second half for Iowa, and it's incomplete, and a flag comes down.
There are fouls by both teams. They will offset. An eligible receiver downfield, offense. Pass interference, defense, first down.
Back to the ground with McNeil. Got what was there to be got. Tackled by Ricardo Hallman. Gain of 6. A win tonight to go to 2-1. Their next game is against Penn State, which is going to be at home. And I know some people are like, oh my goodness, Penn State's coming to town.
They're reeling, man.
That's not the Penn State we're talking about.
It's not.
In case you missed it, Penn State lost again today.
Wow.
They lost against Northwestern. They are not even on the ropes. They could be dead on the side of the road.
The irony is they just plucked one of the top defensive coordinators a couple of years ago from a national championship team, and it had no explanation. Jim Knowles.
On third and short, they get it to the tight end because they're Iowa. That's what they do. Hayden Large has the first down, and then he trips and falls.
I mean, didn't Large fall over here earlier? I mean, it was just we got to sit Large down, man. Work on him.
His feet are a little bit too large for his body.
Turf monster got him again.
I'm sure Kirk probably didn't care. He just wanted the first down to work on the clock again.
Absolutely, coaching point.
Kirk Ferich's first year, 1999, the Hawkeyes went 1-10. Built something though.
Yep, no question. Old power eye.
Moulton. Short gain. Wisconsin, how far away are they from possibly getting themselves out of this hole? This is a tough road right there right now.
Yeah, it's tough. And once again, I think you play the long game. There's a finite game and then there's the infinite game. I think what you have to do is understand this is a big picture thing. And I don't care who you are, what you're thinking out there. Year 3 for Luke Fickell. Some people are going to say he's hot seat on the way out, all that stuff. He's a great coach, an unbelievable human being with a great infrastructure in place. You've just got to understand the competition context that you're in as a Big Ten school. Again, surrounded by a history that has to need a certain player to play in this system. They've got to work beyond that, and it's going to take them a while. They've done it with the defensive front. You can see the success there.
Third down. Iowa trying to stay on the field offensively. And that's going to bring up fourth down. A great tackle is made right when the catch is made by Moulton. So it's fourth down. Fourth down at 5. Play clock's down to 3. And they're just trying to draw him off sides. Did they take the timeout, or are they just going to take the penalty?
Their partner, while we're sitting and waiting for them to sort this thing out.
5-yard penalty, fourth down.
The more successful they are, that Wisconsin is going to be forced to find the kind of athletes that can compete in that context. That's what's going to happen, and that's what Wisconsin is right now.
Maybe the final play of the third quarter. End over end punt. Ballard calls for the fair catch and makes it. Fourth quarter. Hunter Simmons has taken every snap for the Badgers. Hands it off to Dylan Jones. First down carry. Wisconsin just trying to get something going so they can work towards something next week. Dylan Jones has now carried the football 16 times. Tries to make that catch, but too quick. Seen that a couple of times. Hunter Simmons. Guys are 10 feet away, and he throws it like it's 80 miles an hour. You caught balls in the NFL from Joe Montana and Warren Moon.
Warren Moon, yeah.
Who threw a more catchable ball?
Well, Joe was a more catchable ball, but in terms of a beautiful ball, nobody threw a better ball. I don't care who you are than Warren Moon. Warren Moon threw the best looking ball in the world.
Ball you kept spinning off those fingertips. Hunter Simmons gonna run for the first down. Seems kind of weird to say it, but Warren Moon is actually part of this conference.
Yeah,
He played at Washington,
yeah.
which at the time I think was in the Pac-8. Then of course Pac-10, Pac-12, and now in Big Ten.
Yep.
Giacomelli. Man, that defense for Iowa's rabid.
Yeah, they are, man.
Bryce Hawthorne's had a nice day. He makes the tackle along with Jaden Montgomery. How about a tip of the cap to number 36?
Yeah.
Jaden Montgomery is a junior. It's his first collegiate start. And as the middle linebacker wearing the green dot, communicating with the defensive coordinator, Phil Parker, he's leading a shutout. Second down and 10. Giacomelli. We were talking to Phil Parker, the defensive coordinator for Iowa, about Jaden Montgomery and said, hey, you know, he's only 5'10".
Yep.
You know, let's talk about his size. Is that going to be a problem? He shut us up with 2 words. He said, Bob Sanders.
There you go.
Bob Sanders, one of the greatest safeties of all time. He was 5'8".
Yep.
And he started Iowa, and they will always say, we don't care about your size if you play like Bob Sanders.
Talk about all those Tampa 2 coverages. The guy that was the nastiest, he was the one that really made that defensive scheme possible. Tony Dungy wasn't afraid to put him anywhere. That guy would come up and run for us like there was no tomorrow.
Looking for a big play on the sideline, and really, they've never been available. Deshaun Lee running stride for stride with Jaden Ballard. So that drive lasts about 3 minutes, but it's going to result in a punt.
They better make him work for this, because this guy right here can make you pay. Let's see if he directional punts this to the far left. They got to make him work. Yep.
And it goes out of bounds. Not a good kick at all.
Nope, it's not.
Mark Gronowski banged up over the last couple of weeks. Didn't know whether or not he's going to be able to play. He has taken every snap for the Hawkeyes. Kamari Moulton pushes forward.
The scoreboard doesn't really define us. It's our efforts that define us. And so if you can get the team to recenter themselves on the controllable things, it creates focus. It's one of the things that they can do.
Slant passes a little bit too high for KJ Parker. Iowa probably wants to work on the clock. This is probably going to be something, either a run or something that's going to be caught. Yep, that's close to a run.
Yep.
So Moulton's got it.
Oh, nice.
And Moulton's got the first down. That is a dream scenario for Iowa. They get the first down. The clock continues to move, and they've got 3 more downs to work with.
You know, I just love it. You know, you get double digits in terms of yardage on the gain. You get a back that's averaging right at, should be close to almost 8. He's at 6.4 yards a carry right now by the latest numbers that I'm looking at. But every time he touches the ball, you give it to him twice, you're going to get a first down. You don't know what that does for a Tim Lester and the offensive coordinator that knows that if you give this guy the ball twice, I'm going to get a first down. It takes so much pressure off your quarterback.
Xavier Williams tackled from behind. Darrell Peterson.
Now the running back position isn't nearly what it was, but no, it never bothered me to split time with great players. They all made you better.
Weegan trying to get something going from his wide receiver spot. Sniffed out nicely by the true freshman linebacker, Cooper Catalano. Third and 12. Caught! That's Van Zee. Reese Vanderzee, welcome back. His 3rd catch of the game. Playing his first game of the season. He's just short of the line to gain.
Long Daddy went and got that one, man. Watch this one. Great protection by Williams and company. Nice job. Pocket crushed on him a little bit. When you got that long body, man, and it's thick too, he can come in there and protect that ball once he catches it.
And a timeout called by Wisconsin.
Got to be impressed with how Iowa came in here and just owned this moment in this context on the heels of a previous year where they dominated at their place.
Gronowski, design rollout left side. and he's got enough for the first down.
Yeah, you can see on that particular play there, you got 3 defenders coming at him. Number 11 Sticks, not quite what he used to be in terms of mobility with the knee, but he's acquitted himself pretty well today.
Ball's knocked down at the line of scrimmage, looking for Vanderzee on a slant. That is such a compliment to Coach Cignetti and the Indiana Hoosiers that you could say losing at home against Indiana is a quality loss. I don't think we've ever said that in the last 80 years of Big Ten football.
Isn't it the truth?
Yeah, but folks, Indiana, they are for real. Another win again today.
Man. Well, I mean, they got so much athleticism across the board.
Oh, boy. Oh, Nelly. 3rd down and 9.
A little orbit.
They give it to Williams, and he's got the first down. Xavier Williams has got a touchdown. 19 yards, Xavier Williams, and the lead mushrooms to 36.
So if we're giving this X-Man a superpower, what would you give him on that part? He's
invincibility. You can't tackle him.
You can't tackle him. Watch him. He's low to the ground. He's got low center of gravity. He kind of reminds me of the bus, right? In that uniform, kind of looks.
How about Liddell Betts?
Yeah, Liddell Betts.
Yeah, that's
he's thick, man.
Not Tavian Banks. Not going to go there. Not even Sean Green. Anthony.
Oh, it's still popping, man.
Tackled at the 20-yard line. Hunter Simmons remains in the game. We have not seen any of Danny O'Neal. Billy Edwards is not even in uniform. This is a Wisconsin team that has not scored, really hasn't even threatened much. And they've got Ohio State here at Camp Randall a week from now.
I'll tell you what, this Hawkeye defense is just playing so sound. They're filling those backside holes open. They've not given up. There's Phil Parker right there, man. There's none better in the game.
Giacomelli. We had a chance to talk to the offensive coordinator for Wisconsin, Jeff Grimes, who was going to match up against Phil Parker for the first time. And he said something I thought was really interesting. He said, you look at Phil Parker's defense, it's simple, but it's simply perfect.
Absolutely. You know, when I talk to Phil about his defense and I ask him questions, I'm asking purely as an analyst, and I ask him to say, what kind of range does this guy have? And he'll stop and he'll say, maybe not, but he plays the game with such great technical expertise that he covers up a multitudes of sin what he doesn't have. And that's just the kind of players that they recruit. And there's something to be said for structure and function.
Pass is high. Chris Brooks took a hit. Didn't work much for Phil Jackson anywhere he went. Are these still valuable reps for Hunter Simmons? Or is it just, at this point,
you know, that's a great question, because I think you have to push the envelope of you a little bit. If you're Jeff Grimes, you got to be doing some things that challenges your quarterback. If you're not asking him to do things that are above and beyond just being a good steward of your system, it's not great. But right now they're trying to bubble screen here. That's, you know, that was a decision that if he made earlier, he probably would have thrown an interception. A lot of traffic there, man.
Caden Weegen's out of the game. He won't return this punt. It'll be Sam Phillips.
No, get away.
Nice punt, 47 yards. Jeremy Hecklinski, we had him down as the third-string quarterback. Hank Brown had played a bit. He was the number 2, we thought. But Hecklinski's going to get a chance to finish out this game.
Transferred from Wake Forest, and he's got some skill set. I've seen the guy play before. He's talented.
There's some people out there that say that name Hecklinski sounds familiar. He has an uncle, Jeff Hecklinski, who was a legend in the Chicagoland area, played at Illinois for a bit, and then finished off at, I think, Western Illinois.
He played and competed. That's exactly what you needed to do to come in here and occasionally have a good throw, to complement your passing game, your run game, and that's really what carried him. That's what set up the pass for him.
Gronowski's going to finish his day 17 for 24. It's kind of hard to do. He completed 17 passes for 107 yards.
And Moulton did a wonderful job. He's going to end with 96 yards, averaging 6.4 yards a carry. X-Man has 7.9 yards a carry. Between the two of them, that right there is enough to carry you. You can have a pedestrian passing attack if you've got that kind of rush if you're Iowa.
Kind of a fun catch for Eichmann. He's a native here of Wisconsin. He's from Sussex, Wisconsin.
So timeout.
Timeout, Iowa, their first in the half, 30 seconds.
Just a stunning turnaround. Winless, then they beat Penn State a week ago, and they continue it on the road. Unbelievable. 96 years ago.
Twain said it best. Those were the worst of times and the best of times. And tonight is a microcosm of it, at least on the scoreboard.
2-minute timeout.
Final 2 minutes of our ball game. Can Wisconsin score and avoid the shutout? They have to do a lot of that quickly. Gideon Atuka is the back in the game. It's been nothing but Hunter Simmons as the quarterback.
Nice.
It'll be hard to score a touchdown running off tackle here. Well, it's going to get even harder for Wisconsin before it gets any better. Next week here in this building, they'll have Ohio State, Luke Fickell's alma mater, one of the best defensive linemen of his generation. But it's going to be a difficult preparation week for him. And then they got Oregon, you got Washington, Indiana, and Illinois. That's 4 ranked teams in the next 5. Oh.
I tell you, when he came from Cincinnati, he never would imagine this situation would be the way it is.
Uh-oh. Look like he had a chance to pop it.
You know, I would really be preserving this to prevent this from turning into a Black Saturday, man. I really would. I'd get some points on those scoreboards somehow. You just don't want to get a goose egg and have that as the narrative. Still huddling.
This may be the final play of the game, the way that they're operating. Oh, my. That's how it ends. Folks, last 2 games in this series, Iowa has won by a combined score of 79-10. This is a rivalry game that has been decidedly one-sided. The Badgers shut out at home for the first time since 1980.